Hey Cozy Home fam, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Shamika and this is Cozy Home by Sham. Go ahead and click that bell down below and turn on your post notifications. That way you get notified every time I drop a new video. Alrighty guys, as you can already tell from the title, for this week's video I will be showing you guys how I style and refresh my built-in shelves behind me for spring 2025. So let's go. Okay, so to style my shelves, I'm starting with the ones at the very bottom, and then I'm gonna go at the top and work my way down to the middle shelves. Now, starting with the shelves at the bottom, I'm going in with these two square woven baskets. I wanted to add something practical yet stylish and practical because I don't have a lot of storage space in my living room. So I wanted to add that to my shelf space and of course to hide anything that might cause some clutter. Alright, so now that I've added the woven bins to the very last shelf, I'm gonna go in and just round it out with these stack of woven trays right at the very top of my built-in. So what I want to kind of create by doing that is some level of cohesiveness, because I have some wovens on the very last shelf. I wanted to take the eye up with the wovens as well. And for my color palette, I did go in to select a lot of nice warm neutral tone to give that cozy vibe. And for my pop of color, I also am using some sage green in the overall design. I'm going to be playing with some whites and black and gray, and of course injecting a nice accent color gold into the overall design as well. What I also want to do is to introduce some woven decorative boxes in the overall design on my shelf space as well. This is just going to introduce some different and varying tones and textures of brown into the design as well. And I'm kind of gonna go with a zigzag style. I'm designing in zigzag in terms of color and height. I'm going to be styling these on the shelf just to start introducing that gold accent in the overall design like I told you I would be working with. So I'm gonna style these bookends on this side of the shelf, and in between these bookends I'm obviously going to be styling some books in the middle. Now for books, I think it's a fabulous way to introduce color on the shelves for the overall design. It also helps you to add height variation and of course some visual interest to the overall design as well. So let's add some books. So for the point that I just made regarding the books, as you can see here, it really does help to add some height variation to the overall design for your shelves. And as you can see, I've also worked with different color books as well, and I've started to introduce that sage green color that I said I would be working with through adding books. So to the shelf below, this one here, I'll also be introducing now some frames just to tie in the gold accent that I've added here with using the bookends. I want to add some gold to the shelf below on the opposite end. As I said, we're doing a nice zigzag design in terms of the color and height variation. So frames introduce height to the design, and of course it also introduces color. So to accent back with the sage green color that I introduced using the book inside of these bookends, I'm going in now with the gold frame and the green floral that is on the inside. This frame is actually also from Studio McGee collection. So now that I've added the frame, I want to also create a grouping around that frame as well. So I'm adding this wooden riser. Notice that it's of a darker tone. I'm trying to tie it back in with the dark tones from the wooden storage boxes that are directly above. So I'm going in with this dark wood riser directly below the frame, and I'm also going to be adding some of these little wooden houses. I actually purchased these in December when I was styling the shelf, but I absolutely love them, and I think it's going to add the perfect amount of charm and homey feel to the overall design. So I'm going to stack them on the riser to create a grouping around the frame. So I wanted to take things a step further in terms of the gold accents that I'm introducing on the shelves. Now, if you remember, I did say I was starting to introduce more gold on this shelf using the frame that I added. But if you look closely, you'd notice that the gold on this frame is actually of a darker, more muted tone. So I wanted to lighten that a bit with these candle holders and add them to the grouping as well. For the opposite side of this shelf, I'm going in with this wooden tray of a darker tone as well, because I'm trying to tie in now some more darker tone woods to accent back with the lighter tones that I've added using the woven basket. On this tray, I'm also going to be adding this coffee candle, really just because of the texture and also the color and of course the shape. So if you notice, we have really straight lines with the books above. So I'm trying to create the perfect contrast by adding in some rounded shapes directly below it. All right, guys, so just to create a nice balance, I'm sure you can see that I have some more books in my hand. I've added some books up top here, so I wanted to come down in kind of a diagonal line and add some more books below to create, like I said, a nice balance and that great cohesive look. So I'm going to kind of change the layout of the books below here, just so it's not too monotonous. I'm gonna have some of them standing up, and I'm gonna have some laying flat. So on top of the book that I've laid flat on this shelf, I want to kind of take that grouping up a notch by introducing some life using greenery. This is actually not real, but I want to introduce some greenery into the design and also some more of that woven texture. So I'm going to be stacking it on top of this book that is laying flat. So for the purpose of height variation and balance, especially since I've added a frame on this shelf, I want to come down in a diagonal line as well on this empty space with some more frames. So the frames that I'm going to be using, I'm going to be layering them. So if you notice, one is larger in size and one is smaller, and they also differ in terms of color. So I'm going in with this wooden tone one to tie in the dark wood tones that I've already incorporated in the design. And also because I've introduced black using books, I want to tie that back in now with a frame. And I went with this specific frame based on what's inside because it has some brown tones on the inside as well. So I'm going to be layering that on the shelf below. So guys, before I show you the finished look, one of the things I wanted to make sure I point out when you style a shelf is knowing exactly when to stop. And if you look at the overall thing that I've created here, I intentionally left a lot of gaps between each grouping just to allow the design and the decorative elements on the shelf some space to breathe and to not have it look too overcrowded. So if you notice at the top, there's some negative space on either side of these woven baskets. There's space beside where these boxes are stacked. They don't need to be pressed up against the shelf. You can just give it some space to breathe right around, and it is the same for where this box is and the book ends. So know when to stop when you design your shelf. Less is more sometimes. You really don't need to fill it all up for it to look nice and elegant. This styled shelf is the perfect blend of function, warmth, and personality. Every single piece styled here on the shelf was chosen with intention. And I want to say to you also that when you look for pieces that you want to style on your open shelves, be intentional about what you want it to look like and also the function that you want it to serve on your shelves when you design. And speaking of being intentional when you choose decor pieces that you want to style on your shelves, I want to also give you this tip. Walk around your home and shop your own home first. Everything that I have here is from shopping my home and also stuff that I've collected over time. I didn't just go out and blow my entire bank account trying to style a shelf. So you don't need to go out and buy those expensive high-end pieces all the time to get that look. Sometimes it just takes shopping the pieces in your own home, and if it's styled correctly and in the right grouping with the right decorative element, it just might look even more beautiful than you ever thought. All right, so take a look at what you have, follow the step-by-step guide that I just gave you, and don't be afraid to tag me when you create those looks. Tag me on Instagram or on TikTok at cozyhomebysham. I'd love to see what you're able to create after you watch this video. All right, so now that we're done styling the built-in shelves, let's show you the completed look. All right, so that's it, guys. You've come to the end of another video. I want to apologize. I know I haven't uploaded in what, 2 weeks? Your girl has been very, 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 very busy and sometimes truly tired. And that's why I've missed 2 uploads, but I'm back and I'm here to stay. So you can look out for more videos to come. Thank you so very much, like always, for watching and supporting my content. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and share my content on out to your friends and family. And every week, I always say, make sure you sound off in the comments. Tell me what you think about this video. What did you learn? What was your favorite part of the video? I love seeing your feedback. So make sure you're sharing that down in the comment section. And like I always say at the end of every video, don't forget to put God first in whatever it is that you do. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye, guys.